Mr. Peyton?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Send him directly into my office.
Yes, sir.
Jameson Clothiers, usual heading, dear sirs. If the herringbone twill offered by our competitors at $2 less the boat is of the same quality as our samples, I suggest you take advantage of this saving. However, well, Betty, this is a surprise.
How are you, Mr. Harrington?
Up to my ears as usual, but never too busy to spare a few moments. Sit down. Well, now, tell me what I can do for you.
Not for me, for Mr. Peyton. He'd like this woven on immediate order. The living room drapes.
I know the pattern.
Mr. Peyton says you'll find the exact measurements in his personal file.
You realize this had to be woven on special order?
Well, there's supposed to be a complete record.
In the Peyton file, it's there.
Well, then if you'll just give me a rough date so I can let the drapery people know when to expect delivery. There's a problem, Mr. Harrington.
The whole thing is impossible.
Well, I don't understand if you have the pattern.
My dear Betty, it just isn't that simple. This isn't a very elaborate cut velvet, woven extra width. I'd have to pull one of our biggest looms out of operation. It would take several days to set up the warp. The weft threads break very easily due to the intricacy of the pattern. I'd have to pull a master weaver off the jacquard looms and let another customer wait for his order. Now, just a minute, let me finish. After the cloth has been woven, the pile has to be hand-cut 50-odd yards of it and pressed in one direction to give it the pan-A finish. That gives it that extra little touch of ostentation for Mr. Peyton's requirements.
I'm beginning to see your problem.
Here, why don't you show him this? Oh, it's the same quality?
And I think I'm going to cancel the fabric.
I imagine it would be more to your own personal taste, which I've always found excellent.
Mr. Peyton has insisted, rather strongly, that the burned drapes must be replaced with line-for-line copies in the identical fabric.
This is an order?
Well,
I'll take care of it. I understand you've gone back to working with the old man.
not exactly.
I did notice one difference, Betty. Oh? You're running errands these days in the limousine, a la Mrs. Hannah Cord.
Oh, I'm having all kinds of fun. Sitting behind Thomas like a grand lady and spending Mr. Peyton's money like it were water.
Oh, I see then. He's given you a free hand.
Well, as long as I don't buy anything that isn't an exact copy of what there was before.
And if you discharge these duties faithfully, there will be others.
Well,
each with its appropriate reward. A well done from the old man. Perhaps even an occasional invitation to dinner for you and Stephen.
Stephen and I won't need an invitation to dinner. We're moving into the house.
At Mr. Peyton's suggestion?
Well, we could hardly force our way into his home.
Not physically, perhaps. Well, this should be very interesting. You and your husband and his half-brother, who also happens to be your ex-husband, all sitting around Grandpapa's table. Very cozy. You don't feel there might be a little extra strain?
Rodney's decided to move out.
How very convenient for you and Stephen.
It was your son's decision.
So you two have finally set out to capture the castle. It's going to be very different from last time, isn't it, Betty? You'll be the young Mrs. Cord, the lady of the manor.
Not that scared little shotgun bride afraid even to come down the stairs.
You haven't forgotten, have you, Betty? Or forgiven me for breaking up your marriage?
You did what you thought was best for Rodney.
You're in a position now to make me pay for it. You have the power, if you want to use it.
Well, I shouldn't be keeping you, Mr. Harrington. You're a very busy man.
Betty, remember, you can't hurt the father without also hurting the son.
lost my keys, or Connie picked them up when she came home in the car.
Did you walk?
No, Dad gave me a lift, fortunately.
That you, Elliot?
Yes.
I have your keys.
Rachel, can I talk to you for a moment? Have you seen your uncle?
No. Why?
Well, he stopped by my office this afternoon.
What did he want?
Well, he says he's closing up the farm and he's moving into town here. I know that's a shock to you, but I don't want you to be frightened, Rachel. He's going to leave you strictly alone.
Did he tell you that?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to make him leave you alone. If he even so much as tries to talk to you, I want you to tell me about it. Will you promise me that?
All right.
Good. Come on, let's have some dinner. Oh, by the way, I'd rather you wouldn't mention this conversation to my wife.
I won't. I'd better go set the table now.
Anyone for dinner?
Yeah, how?
I was just coming in to help you set the table.
It's already done.
Oh,
It wasn't that much of a job.
Thank you, dear.
would you mind if I ran upstairs and washed my hands?
Walk, don't run.
Not a bad idea.
Did you talk to Rachel about her uncle?
Yes, I thought you should know.
I think you're right. We don't know that he'll keep his word about staying away from her. Don't frighten her too much. If there's any worrying to be done, I'd rather we did it.
Hey, Lee, I thought you said your wife was going to be on the wharf waiting for you.
What about that, me?
Well, if she ain't going to be here, what do you say we all stop down at Ada's?
Hey, jailbird, you gonna buy a drink?
Hey, old man, how would you like a taste of some of that salt water, huh? Why don't you just clam up?
Come on, Phil, leave him alone.
Lee! Hey, man, what are you doing out here? You lost or something?
I should have turned you upside down and bounced you on your head a few times.
I don't know what's bugging you, man, but lay off
I'm
me.
going to give you a warning, Lee.
You're not my attorney anymore, Mr. Court. I don't need any warnings from you. And I'm not going to take you pushing me around anymore.
Now, where's the gun you took from Ada Jack's place?
I took a gun from Ada Jack's place. What are you talking about?
Oh, you have got that innocent look down pat now, haven't you?
Oh, somebody's been putting you on, Cord.
You take that gun back to her place tonight, understand?
I didn't steal any gun. I didn't steal a gun from Ada Jack's or any place else.
For stealing a gun and concealment of a deadly weapon, they send you away for about 6 years.
Oh, you're funny. You're real funny, Cord. A couple of weeks ago, you were fighting tooth and nail to prove I didn't kill Ann Howard. And we won. Together, we won.
They released you for insufficient evidence. The case is still open. You didn't win the ball. Game's not over yet.
All right. But then, you were with me all the way. Now you act as if I swore to you it was winter out. You wouldn't believe me for $1 million.
Ada is probably inside right now.
Have you been waiting out here in the cold because you're afraid of how bad it'll look if the innocent man you defended got arrested for stealing a gun? Is that why you've been waiting out here?
I'm not warning you because I care what happens to you. I don't want Sandy or Chris or anyone else to get hurt because of your stupidity, understand? Now, if you did steal that gun, I hope you get caught with it. And I'll only be sorry about one thing, that I won't be the one to prosecute you.
Preview from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
You're kind of a local celebrity. I mean, the guys in the fishing boats point you out.
Something else they point out. They say, now there's a guy who can be pushed because he's afraid to mix it up.
That's the story.
Forget it.
Get back in your cage. I'll be here, boy.